Recently, the Ben 10 community delivered some of the best dimensional Omnitrixes to us. Many have let their creativity soar with such epic alien transformations and such well-crafted stories. They could easily fit with any of the Ben Tennysons shown earlier in the Ben 10 series. The 5 Omnitrixes we will see next have special features. Figuring out which one is the most interesting will be the goal of this video. I'll stay quiet for a month, let's get started. These 5 Omnitrixes, including the Chambatrix, each have unique purposes. For a long time, it was thought that the Chambatrix transformed the user into the best alien version for working, but that's not the case. The Chambatrix makes exclusive use of its aliens, giving the user the most skilled form for working. Unlike other Omnitrixes, the user doesn't transform themselves with this one. They swap places with the alien in the Omnitrix, letting the alien come out and take their spot. This is the only Omnitrix without a specific user transformation. Now, about the crappy Trix, it turns you into the lamest and most pathetic version of an alien. It uses AAA batteries and they run out quickly. Just using it gives you the benefit of getting bullied at school, not to mention that it breaks down and malfunctions all the freaking time. And no, it doesn't tell the time. The Alternatrix, the Demontrix, and the Spartatrix are Omnitrixes that give us aliens with a certain percentage of mutation. Let me explain. The Alternatrix gives you altered alien transformations, which, thanks to this Omnitrix, we can control. The Demontrix goes even further, as it gives the alien demonic characteristics with extra abilities that can be used to create a unique being. This lending concept appears in the Spartatrix, as the Omnitrix uses aliens to enhance the wielder's mythical weapons. Ignite this fire with the Swords of Chaos. One great thing about these Omnitrix, especially since many have a story involving one, they each tell a different story. In the universe of Spartatrix, it was created by Azimuth, a Galvan scientist who had in mind to create a tool for peace. A device with the purpose of promoting understanding between species by allowing other beings to experience different forms of life. It would also store the DNA of over 1 million alien species. Azimuth had set his sights on Earth at a specific place and time, ancient Greece and the domains that the gods held over humans. Azimuth watched curiously as the constant wars unfolded, thanks to the gods manipulating them and offering their help. The Galvan didn't trust them at all. In fact, he saw them as a possible threat to the galaxy. Azimuth, needing to be cautious, took his still developing Omnitrix and decided to modify it, so that it would protect the weak from those gods with bad intentions. The goal was to send it to Sparta, reflecting these warriors' resolve to protect their own. What he would never have imagined is that by sending it to Earth, a ship would change course, leaving it lost for a long time. Sooner or later, he would realize sending it to Sparta was a mistake, as the Omnitrix had ended up with the Ghost of Sparta, a warrior who uses his power not for self-defense, but to wage war on Olympus and fulfill his revenge. In the Demontrix universe, we have to keep 2 things in mind. The first is that the events begin after Azimuth creates the Sword of Ascalon. Since the terrible event, such as the destruction of several planets, led many beings to become interested in the Galvan. Next, clarify what these beings are, as they are a type of alien that has always lived in the null void. Having the ability to observe all the important events in this dimension, now these beings would become interested in a specific Galvan, Azimuth, who, in trying to fix his mistake, would attempt to build the Omnitrix, a super powerful device whose purpose was to understand all species. Upon learning this, several of the demons would decide to voluntarily enter the Omnitrix so that the universe could understand them as well. The problem occurs when Azimuth sends the Omnitrix and the original series events unfold. You know, the squid arrives, intercepts the ship, causing the device to be ejected. The demons exploit the situation by trying to access the Omnitrix. Unfortunately, the device detected them and imprisoned them. Their presence alters its form and future changes. In the universe of the Alternatrix, the main characteristics of Ben's aliens were altered by a glitch in the programming of the Omnitrix, drastically modifying their DNA, but due to the system's own safety measures, they are not unstable to use. The aliens' qualities are now the opposite of the original ones. In the Chambatrix universe, Azimuth, as usual, would take an interest in humanity, but now he would focus on a specific sector, the workers. Without the right technology, many of their jobs put them in danger. So he would decide to create a device to help humanity in their work. This would alter the DNA of various aliens to make them fit for work. He would send it to Earth for a human to discover and use its power. Ultimately, it would go to a young Grandpa Max, offering a new perspective since we know the user is important. Returning to the bearers, out of 5 dimensions, we would have 3. With Kratos being the freaking master of the universe, the Spartan was a god, with or without weapons. Just picturing him with the Omnitrix and combined with the aliens elevates him. The Spartatrix perfectly united the user, the aliens, and their divine weapons. The Blades of Chaos had to be used and enhanced by the Pyranite's heat. 4 arms, the strongest alien took the Nemean gauntlets and could now split Earth in 2. Diamond Head forged both the Spartan shield and spear. Let's remember that each alien grew stronger with the weapons that Kratos kept obtaining. Like Exarlaco with Hermes' boots, Beast with Spartan Fury, or even Insectoid himself with some kind of magic. The Omnitrix adapted wonderfully to this version. And this is one of the most important things about universes like the Altertrix that we mentioned, which are opposite versions. Heat Blast was still a Pyronite, but now he was called Geyser, and he could emit gigantic steam eruptions. This alien was now called Fourways, since his abilities had changed. With immense mental powers, they can distort space, float, and create psychic shields. Carbonator was the counterpart of Diamond, who became more fragile, but with the ability to regenerate, something that the original Diamond also used to have. But hey, let's remember that not everything can be perfect. In fact, the flaws of each Omnitrix and how they learned to deal with them were what made them special. If you look at the Alternatrix, it gave us the worst range of aliens that could exist. They're the original aliens, but since it was made so poorly, it gives us low-class aliens. Like Humo the Pyranite, who struggles to make fire and usually only creates sparks. Dos Palo, since he would be the strongest alien of all, having the strength of an average human, although for his species. Tetraman would be like an insect. Crystal was similar, so fragile that any impact could end him. In fact, it would be your end, since this alien can't regenerate. Now, the Chambatrix was totally different, since it literally trapped aliens and made them coexist together until the user needed them. Here, Fuego was a welder, 4 Arms was a construction worker, Diamond Head was a miner, and XLR-8 was a delivery guy. And Way Big was a star who acted in movies like the Godzilla ones. The guy was in the Monsterverse. The creative factors in making an Omnitrix are what make it special and unique. Now, this thing about the aliens is still pending, since I just got an idea to compare them. There are still many Omnitrixes that could enter the top 10. If you know any, don't forget to leave it in the comments and obviously vote for your favorite. If you like the idea, please support the video. I send a huge hug to these people. They are the ones who support my work and the channel. And well, don't forget that I'm Frio, and with me, it'll be until next time. Goodbye.